flushed. Absolutely flushed.
Alrighty, what up everybody? It is a good day because I have finally received a custom set of Takomo irons. We're gonna dig into these, unbox them, take a look at them, and see how they perform. Hey. All right, right out of the gate, we'll give you a golf towel and a pretty wicked hat. Trucker hat, decent quality I would say for a free hat. Okay, and the clubs here, each individually wrapped. Pretty solid packaging, if I do say so myself. Bubble wrap around the club heads. Really pretty solid with all that. Overall, pretty simple, well packaged, no complaints there. Let's go open one up. Sleek. Here we are without the plastic. It looks pretty sharp looking down the shaft. Alrighty, so we went ahead, opened them, showed them to you guys, got to the good stuff first. Now we have to get into the specs and what is really, really important when buying Takomo golf clubs. First and foremost, go get fitted. Get fitted, get your specs. It's the only way you're gonna know what you need to be swinging and what to order for Takomo. I went and did my club fitting. First time in I don't know how long. I have been swinging for almost 10 years now, Titleist AP1 irons. Very forgiving for the amateur hack like I am. And I went in to get fitted because I wanted to know what my specs were. And I was eyeing the Mizuno irons for a new set. My handicap, I would say roughly is a 12. Not great, not terrible. So my fitting, I'm 6'3" and I have a 6'8" wingspan. Long arms. I thought I needed extended clubs, longer clubs, right? Longer shafts. The way I swing, where my hands lie and everything, hands are closer to the ground. So I didn't need longer shafts, which is the whole really reason why I went in to get fitted. Was I was trying to convince myself I needed longer clubs for how tall and lanky I am. Turns out that wasn't the case. Number one right there, didn't need longer shafts. Standard shafts were what I needed. So with the shaft, I still needed a stiff flex shaft, but what I was fitting was a Project X shaft, and the weight was roughly around 115 to 120 grams. Put in perspective, the clubs I was hitting, my Titleist AP1s, were 95 grams. Stock iron shafts weren't doing it for me. We went through on these shafts. I went with the KBS Tour C-Taper Light Stiff. On the website, they were advertised as 118 gram shafts. I'm seeing 110 here. I will be following up with the Takomo to see if that is accurate or not. I could probably live with 110, that's fine. They're definitely heavier, 15 grams heavier than my 95 AP1s that I've been swinging. All right, so we did get a response back from Takomo. They were pretty quick to respond. They said, the shafts are the same shafts. However, KBS, the shaft manufacturer, uses only taper-tipped shaft labels, which is why the shaft label in your shaft is 110 grams. However, those are the parallel-tipped KBS C-Taper Light Stiff shafts, which have a raw weight of 118.5 grams. Once cut to correct length, the shafts are a bit lighter. So the takeaway from that is when you're looking for your shafts on the website, it is a full length. It's a raw length. It's not when they're cut to standard or whatever length that you're getting. So keep that in mind. So quick research shows that when you cut from raw length to standard, it's about a 4 to 5 gram difference from it. So I would say, despite the labels being a stock 110 label, I'm probably floating around the 115 mark for grams, which is what I was fitted in. So it happened to work out. Kudos to Takomo, get back to me pretty quickly on that. That's something you'll need to know when you go to get your shafts. We are in a standard length, we're in a stiff shaft, we're in a higher gram weighted shaft, and I got their KBS Tour C-Taper Light. So that's the shafts. We'll just jump to the grips here as well. I have big hands, oversized grips, no brainer. Down to the club head now. Lie angle. Now this is where it gets important. I got fitted 2 degrees up on lie angle in my Mizuno fitting. You need to do your research. You need to figure out what you are fitted in. 2 degrees up on a Mizuno is not 2 degrees up on every other brand. Through research, aka ChatGPT, whatever, I found that Takomo irons sit 1 degree higher than Mizuno irons. So if I'm a +2 degree up on Mizuno, then I will only be a +1 degree up on Takomos. And that's what I got. I got 1 degree up on here, and that should match the degree that I got fitted in with my Mizunos. So that was the biggest aspect right there, was getting the lie angle correct and matching. Because if I went 2 up, that was already 1 degree up. Now we're talking 3 degree up on lie angle, and that would be too much. I would be snap hooking probably everything. But the beauty of Takomo is you can put all those specs online and get all those things. I got my oversized grips. I got the closest shaft I could possibly get to what I was fitted in. And I got what I'm very confident in is the exact lie angle that I needed that I got fitted in. Now, I haven't mentioned yet in this entire video the model that I've gotten on this. They do a great job with Takomo's website in letting you know kind of based on your handicap which ones to get. The basic 101s is for your higher handicap players. The next one up, the 101T, T as in titmouse, are the ones that I got. That is a mid to low handicap player. So I went with those. Then they had the 201s, 301s, they have a bunch of other brands there as well. I'm not that good, nor will I ever be probably, but I did feel like the 101s were probably not the ones for me that I felt comfortable with, but the 101T as in titmouse, for sure, I think is right up my alley. I also did a bunch of research online. I didn't just go ahead and listen to what Grant Horvat was saying, all those guys. I went to some neutral parties who aren't paid by Takomo. Rick Shields was a good one. There's a couple other ones out there as well. Did really, really good reviews on all different kinds of the Takomo brands, lineups that they have out there. And the 101Ts were by far one of the highest rated ones out there. The last thing that comes to my mind on these are the degree lofts on here. My Titleist AP1 7-iron was a 30 degree loft. When I was getting fitted, I was hitting 7-irons in Mizunos, which was a 27 degree. So my 27 degree 7-iron Mizuno was flying 190. I'm like, holy shit. 7-irons for Takomo, I believe, is a 32 degree. So I get 2 degrees less on what I'm used to. Alrighty, let's talk about price. Price was absolutely a factor when trying to get new irons. Tailor-made, custom fit, brand new, you're looking at $1,600. That's just a lot. People like me, husband, father of 2 kids, money's gonna be spent elsewhere. I can't be dropping $1,600 on a whole new set of irons, especially when I don't really play all that much anymore these days. But I still want to get new technology, new clubs when I do go out to give myself the best chance to play well and make myself want to play more. So the 101Ts is in titmouse. I believe run about $500, I think it was. I upgraded the shafts. I wanted this exact shaft I pretty much got fitted in for. Then PBS Tour, C-Taper, light, stiff, and the grams I needed. That was a $100 upcharge. And then I got the oversized grips as well, which was additional $15. I think the whole set was $15, so that's a pretty darn good deal for grips. Get the grips installed for that price. So at this point in time, these are at $714. You gotta pay for shipping, $50 in the shipping, and then taxes. Taxes got me for like 60 some bucks or whatever. All of them said it was like $820 out the door, and they did a great job communicating that it takes 6 to 10 weeks for shipping. I got these in less than 4. Super happy with all that. Price point was right on. I plan on having these for another 10 years. I'm just gonna probably get new irons every 10 years. Price point was spot on, allowing me to go now get new wedges. Anyways, let's go hit these, huh? Let's go test these out. Let's get some numbers on these. Let's go hit them.
All right, here we are at the simulator. We're gonna go ahead and test these out. We're gonna start from the bottom up and hit with the pitching wedge. Low pull, almost at the target. Initial reaction is the first swing. I like the weight of it. The heavier shafts, feels really smooth on it. That felt really good. That was right at the target, same distance. Dude, that went deep. Yeah, that's good. Dude, it's consistent. 9-iron. That's right on target. That was a miss hit. Yeah, I mean, that's livable at least. Right at it. 8-iron. So that felt pretty good. Yeah, that feels really good off the club. Here we are at the 7-iron. I brought my old one, which is the Titleist AP1s that we talked about earlier. Shaft is much lighter. We're gonna hit a few of these and then compare it with the Takomo 7-iron. Yeah, that was a little miss hit. Flared that right. That's typically what we see. It's all over the place. Now we'll switch to the Takomo.
That's why you got a new club.
Seriously, if this one goes somewhat straight, look, that was a toey, out to in. That could be the shaft weight. A little left, but on target. That was flushed, absolutely flushed. Look at that thing. On target, 154, shorter than normal, but wow. 2 swings of the old AP1s versus this, huge difference. The lie angle difference really helps with the miss hits on here. Flush 2, 1 little miss, super livable, distance still carried. A lot of good things coming from this. Final thoughts here. Pretty big difference between the two. Here are my 7-irons, my old one and the new Takomo one. Definitely the biggest thing I feel difference is the weight in the shafts between the two. I think that saved me a lot for recovery, for forgiveness. Now the 101Ts are the second model up, so the 101s have more forgiveness than this, but I still feel like for a handicapper into the mid to teens as myself, these are fantastic. Distances were not quite what I expected them to be, considering some of the loft angles on them. We should get them dialed in, go out to the range, see them in real life and real play outside, and that should help as well. Overall, upgrading from a 10-year-old club to the Takomos that are based off of the wholesale price that you get for them and not paying for the big time name and all the other stuff that doubles the prices for those tailor-mades and whatnot out there. I so far think this is a huge win between the two. If you're upgrading an older set like I did, that's 10 years old, you're not trying to break the bank, these are the ways to go. I would say I would highly recommend giving them a shot. As always, like, subscribe, comment below if you have any questions, either the ordering process. If you want more of these types of videos surrounding golf or anything else, please let me know. I'm happy to do them. Overall, I would say grade these as a yes if you're looking to get new clubs. Yeah. Maybe just turn it down a hair. Yeah. Not a problem. Perfect, thank you. Appreciate it. I'll talk to this camera, I guess. So the big thing I noticed now with these first few, even with some whatever, I'll figure it out later.